It's been 7 days since Maxwell Chikumbutso launched his free energy vehicle and microsonic device. But here's the problem. No one knows where to buy it. No official stores, no online orders, no dealerships, just silence. What we're left with are the claims made at the launch event, including one surprising endorsement, a pastor who took the stage to vouch for the technology. According to him, he's seen the device working with his own eyes. He stressed that the microsonic energy device is the core technology with the potential to change the world, while the launch products are examples of its application. But here's the question. Should we believe this technology works simply because a religious leader says so? Or should Saith Technologies have brought actual users on stage to say that the device powers their homes? Now, I'm going to play the clip of the pastor's statement from the launch event. Listen closely to his words and let me know what you think about this.
Well, somebody is asking a question, so what does a pastor have to do with energy? It all starts in the spirit, I guess. So it goes back, all the way back around early 2000s. And this young man called Max was in a church, which I happened to be his youth pastor during that time. And after praying, and whilst he was in a church, he gets this revelation. And the Lord gave him the word, thus saith the Lord. And that's where the name Saith comes from. It just came from the aspect of thus saith the Lord. And so over the years, Max has struggled and maneuvered and developed to explore and to understand the God-given talent that he knowed in him. So at the first instance, around 1999, I may mix up my dates, I'm not as young anymore. Around 1999, he came up with his first shocking thing. So he came up with this radio transmitter, and it was all over the news, and I remember that time then he was asked to shut it down. Long story, making it short, over the years, he then started working out the aspect of energy. And from 2000, somewhere there, we distanced ourselves, we went apart. And so when I came back around 2009, we reconnected. And he told me the story that he has finally gotten a breakthrough in building an energy source that is going to change the world. So it was the generator. It was the microsonic energy device. And so over the years, he has worked on to scale it up. And around 2015, 2016, he came up with a 0.5 megawatt. I mean, some of you were coming in, you saw on one of the billboards. He came up with a 0.5 megawatt prototype, and he called me and said, Pastor, I've done a 0.5 megawatt, and I believe this can power out houses. And I said, are you sure? Then he said, yes, come and see it. So I went to his office in Blufffield then, and I spent a whole day there and said, okay, you know, I'm a pastor, but pastors are also allowed to doubt. So can you prove it to me? And then he said, okay. So he powered the whole building, and the whole day I was there, the whole building was going on, you know, with the 0.5 megawatt that he had built here. Moving forward, some few years ago, he then got in a connection with a scientist who was brought in by one of our friends, Foster Gamble. He brought in a scientist, and he had taken his machine in a container at the Celebration Church. And the scientist came in, and they wanted to prove whether what Max claims is really producing energy. So they came in. They did put in a heavy payload. I'm not saying something that I read, I'm saying something that I witnessed. I was there, so I was an eyewitness. So they put it there, drained the machine for 3.5 hours with a heavy payload, And after that, when they went back to measure the batteries, lo and behold, the batteries were full. And the engineer was alarmed, and he said, I've never seen anything like this. I could see Foster almost shedding out tears. But the journey has been long. And I have an experience of working with investors. One of the things that I've learned over the years working with Max is inventors, some of them are perfectionists. So Max loves perfectioning things. And so over the years, he kept on doing it and doing it and doing it. And I mean, I was surprised to see that the same thing has actually gone back to a very small unit that can actually be taken by an individual family to power out their house. So, ladies and gentlemen, as we are gathering here, my witness and testimony is to say this. We are in a moment in our generation where we are beginning to see extraordinary works and acts of skill that God imparts in His people. I know many people don't want to hear God and technology, but let me prove that for you. It is very clear in the Bible, it is God who gives people gifts. And He says in His word, I've put my spirit in Bezalel, the spirit of craftsmanship. So it is God who implants the spirit in people to be innovative, to be creative, and to come up with new innovations. So today we stand here to see the microsonic energy device is the thing that we are gathered to see here. The car is a product. It is not the main thing. The real thing that is going to change the world is the microsonic energy device, which Max will be explaining shortly. So welcome to this journey. I would want to say is Saith, Max and the team are also exploring the journey, and let's explore the journey together and believe God for this supernatural wisdom that is in Lord for this generation to change the world. So welcome into the journey, and let's experience it together.
Thank you very much to the man of God, Pastor Katsande and Maxwell.
My task is very easy today, much as I am a keynote speaker, but I've also come a long way with Max. I think after hearing of his innovations that were disruptive and defying the laws of physics, I made it a point that I visited him, and it led me to his factory and laboratory. And I was as disturbed, confused as most of the comments that we are seeing today on social media, which regrettably lack any information and are not factual about what is on the ground. I've touched and experienced the phenomenal, unbelievable power that is coming out of the microsonic energy technology. I want to acknowledge the dignitaries that are here, some that are viewing this on social media, online. I also want to acknowledge the CEO and Saith Holdings Technologies Board, and the key men driving these technologies, Maxwell Chikumbutso. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, innovators. I know there are innovators in this room, industry leaders, members of the Fourth Estate who are here present, friends and technology, friends of technology. Good evening to all of you. It is indeed a privilege and an honor to stand before you today at this remarkable occasion at the launch of Saith